Well, hello and welcome to another episode of The Downtown Dish. I am your host, Katie Schamberger. So this is kind of where the magic happens. You are hanging out with me in my home office. Decided to mix it up just a little bit this week. So welcome. We are very excited to bring you another episode of The Downtown Dish this week. We are going to chat with Scott Tipton, the Director of Restaurants, Bars, and Events at Hotel Kansas City, and he is going to give us the scoop on their snow globes, which are an immersive, outdoor, yet covered and heated drinking and dining experience that they launched on Christmas Eve. So he's got the scoop from what it is to how you participate. I learned a bunch of new stuff. I can't wait to check them out, so I think you'll love it. Very excited this week to also catch up with a longtime friend of mine, Jessica Best. Her and her husband live downtown and are very passionate about the downtown community. And she does such a good job of supporting local restaurants. It seems like I follow her on social. She is always checking out a new place or a place that's new to her or coming back to an old favorite. So we're just going to talk about where she's been eating lately, what she's really loved, and what's next on her radar, because I feel like she's tried every place in Kansas City. So very interested to see if there happen to be places that she hasn't been. Big thanks this week and every week to our partners for helping to make the Downtown Dish happen at Downtown Council, KC Streetcar, Kansas City Downtown Neighborhood Association, and Lynchpin Ideas. Here we go, another episode. Watch me. So, do you remember a couple weeks ago when Jared Campbell of the Downtown Council and also a founding partner of the Downtown Dish stopped by, and he mentioned that he was working on a downtown Kansas City resident survey. That survey is now live, so we are going to drop the link right here on the screen. We are also going to share the link on our social media over at Downtown Dish KC. But as Jared mentioned, if you live downtown or in that kind of greater downtown area, this is a really valuable opportunity to make your voice heard, provide input on changes you'd like to see downtown, feedback, any concerns you might have, and this insight from these surveys is going to directly shape Jared's work with the Downtown Council as its new resident engagement program manager. So take the survey, spread it to your friends and neighbors there in the downtown KC area, and make your voice heard. All right, I am so excited because this has been on my radar for a while, and this week on the Downtown Dish, we are going to get the scoop at one of the newest additions at Hotel Kansas City. Here to give us the details is Scott Tipton, Director of Restaurants, Bars, and Events at Hotel Kansas City. Scott, welcome to the Downtown Dish.
Hi, Katie. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so I started seeing this thing, like these igloo bars popping up in other cities, and I feel like that was kind of the basis for Snow Globes, which is this super cool outdoor experience there at Hotel Kansas City. Can you give us a little background?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I want to give credit where it's due that, watching what's happening around the country, around the world, and seeing other restaurants and bars, pivot into doing these outdoor dining igloos and tents and all this creative stuff. We took that inspiration and that was the beginning of this whole crazy project. So, inspired by everyone else and what they're doing. And we got these garden igloos and decided to partner with the Spirit brand. And, it really, for us, it started with I love this time of year in Kansas City. It's snow falling, it's football on TV, it's friends and family gathering around, and we can't do that as much this year. So I knew that we needed to do something to create a safe environment for people to gather in small groups. And we saw the igloos around the country and, wanted to create something similar, and then realized that, the word snow globe hadn't really been used yet. It was all like igloos. And so we decided to create these little tiny, winter wonderland globe type.
I want you to talk a little more, because one of the things, as I was investigating, I first saw information about the snow globes on Instagram. So everybody follow Hotel Kansas City on Instagram. Is that the snow globes, in addition to being these incredible winter wonderlands themselves, so they're branded or they're themed with the corresponding spirit, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I love that.
Theme is really the right word to use, because it truly is, when we say experience, it's an immersion into the brand and the place that the brand is from and that spirit in particular. As opposed to just, we could have just plopped these things up here and been like, come on in and we'll, make a bar around it. But like, we really wanted to go down that rabbit hole, and we selected the spirits first. So partnered with William Grant & Sons, who is the parent company for Hendrick's Gin, Reyka Vodka, and Glenfiddich Scotch. So, we knew that we could create a Scotch, a gin, and a vodka experience. And then that was the beginning of it. And then from there, we just basically nosedived down the rabbit hole and figured out the inspiration and how can we, incorporate all these things into that 90-minute experience from food and drink from both perspectives. So, our chef, Donald Cobb, ran with the food side, and each globe is inspired by, Iceland for Reyka and Scotland for Glenfiddich and Hendrick's. So it's about the place and it's about the spirit, and the drink and the food reflect that in every way we possibly can. Scott,
that was one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you, because I just felt like the attention to detail here is impeccable. Like, you're not getting like the same food and cocktail menu in each globe. Like, it is completely different depending on which spirit that you have selected. And like you said, then the food was so well done to kind of correspond both with some of the flavors and experiences of the spirit itself, but then, like you said, connecting to the place in which that spirit originated. So it really is kind of this immersive, really almost travel experience, I think, when so many of us are wanting to get the heck out of here, but we got to wait a little while longer.
Yeah, it really is an escape, and that's the idea. And honestly, going into it, I was worried that maybe everybody likes different things. I like different things. Right. It's hard to be like, you're just going to drink gin tonight or you're just going to drink scotch tonight. So I expected more pushback and, a little bit of concern originally that guests wouldn't, maybe you've got 6 friends, but not everybody likes the same stuff.
Right.
We've been incredibly gracious to see all the feedback come in, and people are willing to kind of, leave those preconceived notions and preferences aside and really immerse themselves into the experience. That those details are key for us, because throughout your 90 minutes, we have it down to the minute when you're going to receive each drink or each bite of food, so that it does feel like it's a full 90 minutes of just, you're constantly fulfilled with different tastes. And everybody's been the feedback's been really positive, and we're really grateful to have that during such a crazy time.
Okay, so clear that up for me then, because there's like several cocktails and several food items on each menu. So does everybody get a taste of everything?
You do. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we probably could have charged twice as much for this if we were smart and cost better. But we really, we were more in this to give our team some jobs, to give people some work to do, and to bring some revenue in from that standpoint. It really for us isn't intended to be this huge moneymaker. We wanted to break even and make it at a fair price for guests. And the value, I think, is honestly pretty insane, because you get, at least for one of the igloos has 5 full-size cocktails. There's a shared like meat and cheese plate, as well as little small sliders and different bites in each one. So each guest gets the same thing, which is part of the fun of it. It really is a communal experience, because you all do have the same drink, which you wouldn't usually do in a bar restaurant setting, perhaps.
Right.
But each of them is photo worthy and fun, and kind of whimsical. So it's fun to all share in that same experience together.
Yes.
And there's interactive components to it that are fun. So we're really proud of how it wound up overall.
It's so cool. And Scott, let's talk about that a little bit on the back end, because I know that you all, as much thought and planning as you put into the actual experience and the presentation, that same amount of thought and consideration went in on the back end in terms of safety. You've already mentioned that the experiences are on a limited, you've got a time limit, basically. And did I read, am I remembering correctly that then each snow globe is sanitized between groups?
Exactly. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why we do have to be, really tight on the reservation times and how long that experience lasts, because we have to give our team enough time to completely sanitize the space and to get it ready for the next group so that they feel just as safe and comfortable and it feels brand new again going into it.
Love it.
So on that note, our staff is of course always in masks, and we do ask that the guest, as you see a teammate of ours entering the snow globe, that you put your mask on for that brief period, because it is a small enclosed space. And then in between those experiences, we sanitize the chairs, the surfaces, the blankets. Any shared surface is going to be sanitized. We use this crazy electromagnetic UV sprayer that I don't even know what it is, but I know that it disinfects the entire snow globe in between, and is this very fancy piece of the future. So
I mean, Scott, honestly, in your line of work, did you ever think that was a sentence you were going to say?
Yeah, no, I couldn't predict any of this.
Oh my God. Well, and that's another. So people who are interested in visiting, I'm pretty sure, Scott, that it is reservation only.
Yes.
And people can go to the website, or what's the best way to do that?
There's a link on the Hotel Kansas City website at the very top that'll take you there.
Okay.
But ultimately, we're going to land on TOCK. TOCK is our reservation system.
Love TOCK. Yep.
So, if you go there, then the full menus are there. There's some more details about the experience and what's included. And reservations are definitely required, because we do each day plan out in advance how much we need for each reservation and what we have coming in.
Sure.
That the right amount of food, drink and staff for everything.
And am I remembering right also that it is between 2 people minimum, 6 people max?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. So I'm personally deciding between the vodka or the gin first. What should I do? Which ones?
They're all so different and unique in their own ways. That what's been really cool though is, while we'll have a group in one, they're literally booking that next experience while they're already here for the next one, because people want to try all 3 once they kind of see what it's all about. But the Hendrix Gin one is probably the snow globe itself is the most full of stuff, and it's kind of the most, I guess, it's the most to use the word whimsical again.
Yep.
There's Jello shots involved. There's strange flowers that you eat in there that cause different tasting sensations. So it's probably the most out there, and it's a hard one to not try once and then come back to the vodka one after you've gone crazy with that.
Well, and that's so cool too. And that was, again, brilliant on your all's part, because you are, people certainly could come back and have the exact same thing, if they love what they had, but it's so cool that they've got different options so they could, come back and get something different. And I want to really quickly touch on, because I feel like I've seen this too. So, being that the snow globes are hosted there at Hotel Kansas City on that just gorgeous, they're on that terrace area. Is that which
on the 15th floor on the outdoor
the views,
patio.
the views,
yeah, it's incredible. And we also have fire pits up here too. So with next to your snow globe is a fire pit. So you don't have to stay inside the little plastic hut if you don't want to. You can go stand by the fire, look over the city views, and then hop in and out of the igloo or the snow globe, which each one has 2 heaters in them also. So it's, you can get cold and warm back up inside and bounce around a little bit.
That's so cool. Well, and have I also seen that there's been some creative tie-ins as well, where let's say people do reserve a snow globe and they come there and they enjoy that experience, and then maybe they decide to go ahead and stay at the hotel since they're right there. But I think there might be the opportunity for some kind of package deals there.
Yeah, we created a special rate for anyone that attends a snow globe that wants to stay the night with us. Because let's be honest, there are a few drinks involved in each snow globe. So
We gotta be safe, everybody. We gotta get home safely.
we'd love to have you stay with us for the lowest rate you can find out there, which is $99 with the snow globe booking to stay in the hotel. And, we see a lot of folks that will come through. They're having dinner at Town Company and then popping up for the snow globe experience and then retiring to the room at the night. And you can make a full evening or weekend of it. Technically you could do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, do each snow globe one night, hang out with us in the lobby and Town Company and feel like you went on vacation somewhere.
Well, Scott, thank you. I am more excited than ever about the snow globes there at Hotel Kansas City. So you will definitely be seeing me soon, and hopefully seeing some friends from the Downtown Dish headed your way here in the next couple weeks. So thank you so much for your time, and come back. You've always got a seat at our Downtown Dish table if there's any news or updates or anything like that you want to share.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Katie.
Okay, so we are in week 2 of the Kansas City Carryout Challenge. Have you participated yet? Have you gotten your downtown KC carryout or delivery on a Wednesday? Share a photo, tag us at Downtown Dish KC, use hashtag KC Carryout Challenge. That's all you have to do, and you are automatically entered to win a $50 gift card to a local restaurant. And this week's winner is, drum roll, congratulations! Thank you all so much. Really, the participation so far in KC Carryout Challenge has been tremendous, and we definitely want to keep that going. Temperatures are starting to drop a little more, so definitely get out, get that carry out. Let us and other people know where you're eating, what's on your list. Feel free to spread the word and make plans to join us again next Wednesday for the KC Carryout Challenge, every Wednesday between now and the end of March. Alright friends, if there is someone out there who is eating at more Kansas City restaurants than our next guest, we gotta talk to him. I am so thrilled to welcome a close friend of mine, Jessica Best, who is Vice President of Data Driven Marketing at Barkley, and I'm just gonna say like queen of the Kansas City restaurant scene. Jessica, what do you think?
Wow, I will totally put that on my business card. I would say I'm a great eater. I would say I am a strong candidate for best eater in the downtown loop.
Champion eater. I like it. I like it so much. Well, I have been wanting to have you on the dish for a while because you and your husband Brian do such a great job, as downtown residents of, and this happened before pandemic, but of really supporting as many local restaurants. And I just follow your Instagram and your Facebook, and you're posting these pictures, and I'm just hungry all the time. So I want to start out and ask you, what do you think about this switch to more kind of predominantly carry out? I feel like you guys are carrying out a lot. What kind of general response have you seen in the restaurant community?
So as an eater, I'm gonna answer as an eater first.
Absolutely, yes.
As an eater,
yes,
yes, right. I have to, know who I am. My one challenge with carry out is that there are some really, really wonderful restaurants that don't carry out as well. Mm-hmm. So one thing that always carries out well, things with sauces or pizzas are always like Buffalo State Pizza. You can get that delivered to the four corners of Kansas City, yes, and it's always good, right?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But there are some things that just don't carry out or travel as well. So that's been one of the challenges that we've had this year, is to really figure out how to support those restaurants that maybe don't carry out as well. I have suggested to my very patient husband, Brian, that we go carry something out and then eat it in the car so that it's warm when we eat it.
I've heard of other people do this. It's not the craziest thing that's going to happen.
I would agree with that. So it's been tough as a person who really enjoys the ambience and experience of eating out.
Yes.
To really switch to carry out, but it's also probably the easiest thing we can do to be supportive of these restaurants in a weird year. I mean, that was the first thing we started doing when the pandemic hit and everybody closed down. The first thing we did was let the food in our fridge spoil. We're going to go support the places in our neighborhood because they've been great to us. So
I love that so much. So let's go back in the time tunnel to last year, I think, correct? As you challenged yourself. You set a lofty goal to kind of guide your eating throughout Kansas City. Tell us about your Yelp challenge.
All right. So full disclosure, I actually didn't even decide to do it until September.
Oh, so, wait. You did not tell me that earlier. So this is like, I won't spoil it for everybody. Okay, so let's just remember she started in September.
Okay, because I'm an active Yelper. I've been Yelp Elite for 5 years. I love it. I use this as like my visual menu. So when I go to a new place and I'm looking at a menu and it all looks good. I don't know what I'm looking at. I go to a place where I don't know the type of cuisine very well. I pull up Yelp and I like pan through the pictures and I'm like, I want that. That looks delicious. So I like to contribute too, because I go to a lot of places. Hopefully I take good pictures of the food that I'm eating and I can add to the Yelp sphere. So I'm a pretty active Yelper anyway, but with the pandemic, it felt like all of that had really grinded to a halt. And again, in support of the restaurants that are just trying to make it through a crazy year, I thought, okay, well, there's a couple of pieces to this. One, I want to make sure that I'm still actively trying new places, even though it's a pandemic, even though whatever. But two, you know this, we knew we were going to be doing renovations on our house.
Yes.
And I'm a huge cook. Like I'm as much as I love to go out to eat, I love cooking. I love meal prep. I love food, obviously. Same. And I knew that being without my kitchen for 2 months was going to be a challenge.
It's rough.
It is a stretch. I will admit that it has been a stretch for me. But Brian, my husband, made kind of a game out of it. He said, well, we know we're going to have about 2 months without a kitchen. What if we tried to do like 100 new restaurants in 100 days? And I was like, actually, I love the challenge of that. I love the inspiration of that. I love that it becomes kind of a fun thing instead of like I can't use my kitchen. I still can't use my kitchen.
Right.
So around September, we knew that we were going to be kicking off about November or December. And around September, I made a whole plan. I knew where I was going to go. I set my sights on, I had done 24 Yelp reviews as of September 27th or something.
Okay. So
on September 27th, I had decided I was going to try and get to 100 Yelp reviews by the end of the year. Like, I know. It's actually insane.
It's amazing.
But I'd done the math on it and I was like, if I have one new place a day, if I eat out either for lunch or for dinner, like for dinner and then take leftovers for lunch, I could justify getting 100 new places in 100 days. Yep. I will admit, like, spoiler alert, I didn't quite get to 100. And there were a couple of days where it's like, but I really want to go back to Tannin or whatever.
Yes.
So we ended up switching it up and supporting some of our faves in there as well. But so this challenge started at the end of September, and I kept a running list of places that were new to me or places that I hadn't been in a while and had never reviewed on Yelp, kind of updating how they'd been taking carryout seriously with the pandemic and things. And as of December 31st, boy, there was a large push the last week of the year.
Were you like carrying out like 3 meals a day?
I mean, I was sharing some things at that point. Like I would stop and get like a cookie at one place and get a tea at another place. But I didn't get to 100, but I did get to 89 new places in 2020, all reviewed on Yelp.
Pretty much between September and the end of the year, let's be honest.
Correct. And most of that was within the last 3 months of the year.
Gosh.
It was delicious.
Any like surprises downtown? I know you hit a few downtown spots, and you've actually hit a couple that are still on my list to try. Clay and Fire, top of the list.
Girl, it's so good. It's so good. And I had a couple of people tell me that it was good, but you look at the menu and there's really only 4 or 5 things in each category. So it's a pretty limited menu, but it's all Near Eastern. And you order the one dish from Persia or the one dish from Azerbaijan or the one dish from Georgia. And again, it's one of those things you may not know entirely what it's going to look like when it comes out. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. So I had a sort of shakshuka type thing, and Brian had this.
Oh, which is so good, especially in cold weather.
Soup, egg drop thing. Oh, it was so good. I highly recommend, by the way.
I've been jonesing for a Turkish coffee.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And they serve it with a little piece of Turkish delight on the side.
Oh my, yes! All right. I just ate a little while ago, and the tummy's already like, hey, girl. Let me ask you this. I love this, and I feel like everybody, you have got to be getting a sense of why Jessica does the type of work that she does, right? She's immersed in data all day, every day. It's what she does. She's so good with data and analytics and planning. Help us aspiring eaters out here. Because I know you showed me, so you had your big list for the Yelp challenge, which that obviously took a lot of planning. And I know that you have kind of an in progress list of places that you want to hit. What are a few of the ways that you keep track of what's opening, what sounds good, where you want to try and get to next?
Yeah, great question. And I think a lot of it is, so I know an eater who knows other eaters, right? I have close personal friendships with people that are also supporters of the Kansas City restaurant scene. I follow like Dave Johnson or Jenny Vergara or you around Kansas City. And like when you post something and I'm like, oh, I should absolutely try. Taqueria Vegana is a perfect one. Yeah. Like I kind of knew they were doing it, but I hadn't been following them on Instagram. And Taqueria Vegana, which is the vegan concept that opens Wednesday nights at the Bite.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. So they basically only communicate through Instagram. So you have to kind of follow them to know this week's menu, to know if they're going to be open or not, because it's like a 3-person operation. And a friend of mine had posted something about it, and I was like, oh my gosh, a vegan Crunchwrap Supreme sounds fantastic. And it was, by the way, my non-vegan husband said he would eat that again the very next night.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it's kind of getting inspired by that. I know Jenny posts a lot of stuff to Feast Magazine, or I actually am the co-owner of a group on Facebook called Kansas City Foodies Crew. And it's like,
nice.
It's like 1,000 people at this point now. And it's just people that don't really know. But the only question you have to answer to get in the group is what's your favorite meal or favorite restaurant in Kansas City, which is basically just like a CAPTCHA, right? Like it's just, if you're a spammer, go away.
Right.
You could literally say anything like, I love the Reuben. I don't care what you say. It's not like a test.
Right.
But me and my friend Chris have had this group for like 10 years. And it's just fascinating to see people, what's the best place for pupusas in Kansas City? I'm like,
thank you.
So I just watch and listen. Yeah.
It's incredible. And I've said this before, and there's probably some people out there, they're like, there she goes again on her soapbox. But I write about Kansas City. I want to do more writing about Kansas City. Calling all editors out there, we'll talk. Listen, I love barbecue, okay? I love barbecue in my soul, but dear Lord, we got to talk about some other food, because Kansas City, I've even had I had a really good friend that went from DC to Denver. He's very active on social as well, and he just private messaged me the other day, kind of out of the blue. He's like, why does the food in Kansas City look so good? I'm like, because it is so good. Oh, and our like global scene, to what you were just saying, the types of food you can get, the groceries, the spices. I don't think everybody quite appreciates what we have going on not just in downtown Kansas City, but I'm going to say the whole metro area. It's really tremendous. I mean,
Exactly. And I think that the variety even, I mean, I didn't know until I'd been to both places that Grunauer, for example, in the Freight House is actually Austrian, where a fair is German via Canada, right? So even just knowing some of the knowing some of their differences in training and the differences in their menu and the West Side and what you can get, like, it's just fascinating to me, the pockets of culture and the pockets of cuisine that you can get in Kansas City. And listen, I'm proud of a lot of things at Kansas City. We're all good little eaters. Like, we know how to eat well.
We do
in Kansas City.
We do. And what I love too.
Well, you know I do. I am, as much as I love Taqueria Vegana, Jack Stack and I have a regular standing date every month. Girl. So
I mean, you can't go wrong with some burnt ends and the people get excited about cheesy corn. I'm not really a cheesy corn gal. I like the garlicky cheesy potatoes.
All right, you can be wrong about that. That's fine. You can like the garlicky cheesy potatoes.
All right, here it is.
I'm just kidding. More cheesy corn for me.
She threw it down. But I will say one of the things that I especially love about you and Brian, and I feel like Rob and I have this in common. Obviously, you guys, home base is downtown. You've got your kind of go-tos, and I'm going to have you give a couple shout-outs here in just a moment. But, and I think this was evident in your Yelp challenge, but again, you've been doing this before. You guys really do a great job of getting out around the metro. In fact, didn't we bump into each other at Zona Rosa a couple years ago eating Indian food at Swagat?
Yes, which is still our favorite Indian spot. We will drive, and it's a road trip to get up there, but we will drive for Indian because it is just a lovely place with lovely humans, but it's also delicious.
It's so good.
So, yeah, no, I think the two downtowners running into each other at Zona Rosa was...
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Awesome.
I haven't quite wrapped my head around the fact that, like, are we going to get to a point post-pandemic when Indian lunch buffets can safely come back? I sure hope so, because, oh my gosh, I miss Indian buffets so much.
Same. Okay. Yeah, Curry in a Hurry that used to be in the downtown, what's it called? One center, whatever.
Yes.
Right in the heart of downtown, that really tall building had like a food court in it before they went under construction. And so Curry in a Hurry actually moved out to Grand. And I've just been like I just drive by every couple of days just to see if they're back open. And I think they're taking a hiatus for right now. But it's Curry in a Hurry is the same owners as Rushi in Overland Park.
Right. And let's put our detectives on the case, because I was actually I was collecting our data at the Downtown Dish to pick this week's KC Carryout Challenge winner, and someone had a meal from Curry in a Hurry, but they were inside Crown Center. So do we know anything about this?
So no, because I keep walking by that one. That one's walking distance from my house.
Yes.
And I keep thinking I'll just get down there one day when I'm working from here. I'll just walk up there, like, see if because they're only open from like 11 to 2.
Right.
Which is fine.
It's a tiny window.
You gotta go. You gotta really want to go. But so I keep thinking that I'll walk down there when I have like a day where I have time to walk down. And every time I walk down there, even during the week between 11 and 2, they haven't been open. So if they are back open, get out of my way, people. I am going. I'm telling you.
They might be back open.
It is one of the best. Yay. Okay. That's one of the best places in Kansas City.
Oh.
And it's a food court. Indian food.
No, when I used to work right there at 12th and Walnut a few years ago, and that was my spot. Oh my gosh. Let me ask, because we are in the middle, shameless plug of the KC Carryout Challenge, everyone. So remember, get your carryout on Wednesdays. Hopefully it's from downtown KC, but honestly, like, just get carryout from a local restaurant. Share your picture on social. Tag us at Downtown Dish KC. Use hashtag KC Carryout Challenge. You will be automatically entered to win a $50 gift certificate to a local restaurant. Remember that we are doing this every week through the end of March. So we are really trying to help our restaurants get through this especially challenging winter season. We figured maybe this could help out even just a little bit. But in light of that, and maybe thinking about we should make our own carryout list going forward, you guys, we should be like Jessica, we should have plans and goals. What are some of your
I was going to say,
Oh,
I'm kind of a shoo-in for that, don't you think? Like, our renovation is still 2 more weeks. Not just Wednesdays, girl, I'm carrying out.
you're carried out every day.
Right.
Every day. Hashtag us, girl, and I'll put you in those drawings, and you definitely should get a gift card. I mean, come on now. But tell me a favorite, and I feel like we have a few places in common, but a few of your downtown go-tos that I love while you're out trying new places and you're discovering, all this deliciousness, but I know we've all got those places that we just go back and back and back to.
Yeah. So the easiest one to think of, and this is since way before the pandemic, is Tannin. Like, to say that we are regulars at Tannin is, it's an understatement, right? Yeah. I would say I've had people literally text me and say, I came to Tannin and I'm surprised that you're not here.
I love that.
True story. True story. But part of that twofold. One, I love the team there, and the food is always just exceptional,
yes.
Right? Like, there are very few places, and I think Corvino in the Crossroads and Tannin are among them, that do an affair, that do this upscale, absolute comfort food done well.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So we've been huge fans of Tannin forever. And I mean, as soon as the pandemic hit, before there were requirements, Tannin went to extremely limited capacity. They were only doing outdoors for a while.
Yep.
As soon as they opened up inside, they went to very limited capacity. And anybody that was seated inside had to have their temperature taken and did contact tracing. I mean, stuff that not every restaurant is doing, right? And I just so appreciated that they were able to, and that they took the action to be even more stringent than the city's regulations.
Absolutely,
so
yeah. They were kind of leading the curve for sure.
Yeah, they've been one of our regulars always, but especially in carryout or in pandemic, or even being one of the few places that we felt safe eating inside.
Mm-hmm. And I know we both want to check out is it the new fire pit at a fair?
So, right, they've got that like back courtyard thing.
Yes.
I think they always had one fire heater or something, and now they have this beautiful, like, bulbous looking fire pit, and I just want to go and sit like 2 inches from it.
So
have Katrin bring me like a glass of wine, and I'm just gonna sit next to my fire and drink my wine. Yeah. That's another one. We're at a fair. Usually we've been outside for the most part, but have gone in, I think, one time inside. And they're pretty spread out too.
Yes.
But yeah, a fair's in our regular rotation, and a fair's one that carries out really well too.
Yes.
Right? Because so much is in sauce. Like, Chef Martin in his sauces are just, so good. But so much of what they make carries out really well.
Yes. And we did a segment. It's been a few months, and I'd like to revisit it. But we got carryout, and then I brought it here. We filmed it, put it on the dish, and had an interview that same episode with Katrin. So we talked about all of the work that they put in to figure out what on the existing menu was going to carry out. All those little individual containers they use for the sauces, and then ways that you could spruce it up even more. At the time it was still warm, so I had fresh herbs growing in the backyard. But they're not alone. I know that so many places have put that same time and effort. But like you were saying when we kicked off, not everything carries out well, so it can be a challenge to figure out, like, how can the food withstand some travel time? What's the packaging involved? And then are those gonna, reveal a whole bunch of costs that we didn't see coming?
Right. Or is it something where if you put it in something that keeps it warm, is it now in a package that you can't warm up in the microwave because it's metal, or it can't go in the oven because it's styrofoam? I mean, Things like that. Yeah. I think it's no surprise to hear that Katrin put so much thought into it, as she does with everything. But yeah, those have been two of our, I mean, pretty regulars. And then you know this, we're over at Mean Mule anytime we can on that back patio, like, because they have, I'm like a drawn to a fire type of person apparently, but they have that back garage door patio and a fire pit back there. I would sit back there every night in fall. I mean, that was kind of how we got through the fall.
Oh, girl.
Was we would head over there and either sidewalk cafe or out back or.
Okay.
Yeah, that's been a regular one for us as well.
I'm going to stump you with a question, an unexpected question, just because it popped into my head. And I know this is like, we're going to get everybody riled up because everybody's going to be on their different teams. What is your go-to coffee shop downtown?
Oh, brutal. You can't ask a girl that.
I did it.
Well, okay. So I'm going to answer.
Is it a conditional answer?
I'm totally going to cheat. Okay. Because Brian goes to Mildred's 3 mornings a week, if not 5. Yeah. Like, coffee. If he's feeling sassy, he gets the Chipotle breakfast wrap. That's usually more food than a person needs to start off like a Tuesday, but delicious. Or he grabs those, those granola bars they make in house that are really like cookies.
Yes.
He's addicted to those. Yeah, so Brian's answer is Mildred's. My answer, and I'm wondering if this counts as downtown, but I'm actually a little bit more of a tea drinker, and Soul Centricity on Troost is.
Yes.
I just love that place.
That is
like, she has a wall of teas, and everything I've had there has been like, I don't know. I'm gonna like overstate it, but I have felt like everything that I've tried there has been an experience. Because you ask Nika, the owner, if I'm choosing this tea, should I get it with or without milk? Should I get it with agave sweetener or more with a honey sweetener? Is it better with an oat milk or is it better with like a cow's milk?
Gosh.
So she kind of helps you put these beautiful flavors together, which is just awesome. So she's been one of my favorite new finds this whole year, actually.
Yes. And I was going to say, I've seen some pictures that you have posted, and that is, it's like Clay and Fire, Soul Centricity, Soiree and 18th and Vine. Vested Coffee just opened a second spot there, and the Wonder Shops at Troost. I mean, ooh. We got a lot of work ahead of us in 2021.
I was going to say, are you taking notes? I feel like you've got a to-do list going.
I do. I know, and I love that you have a list. I think I'm going to start a list because that's my thing too, is I see all these places and I think, I need to try it. And then I don't make a note of it. And then when I am in the mood to try something, I can't think of, it.
Right.
But
I don't know what you want. Well, so you asked, how do I keep that list? And some of it's just in like the notes app on my phone. But I actually have started my bookmark collection on Yelp is sometimes in other cities what I want to try. Like, I saw something on the Food Channel I really want to try. But also just in Kansas City, like as I learn places. And then anytime Brian and I have something like, where do we want to go on Thursday night for dinner?
Yep.
I can actually open Yelp and kind of zoom in. Do I want to stay close or do I want to do the whole Kansas City area? Do I want to pick something up on my way home? Those types of things. And I can kind of zoom around. And that also gives me the option of sorting by the date I added it to the list. Mm-hmm. So if something just hit my list, I can also kind of prioritize those things that I think might be kind of a new, fresh spot to go.
Yes, I love that. I personally am also a big Yelp user. Kind of in the past, I tended to use it a little more when I travel, to just explore the area I'm in, pick a place that sounds good. But, obviously in Kansas City, we have so much going on in the restaurant scene. Why not use travel apps to track what and Yelp is obviously for everything, definitely not just for traveling. It really is for exploring, your own backyard. So that's a fantastic suggestion. And tell us, I know that you are active as I am as well. I think that's how we first met on social. Jessica, if anybody here in our Downtown Dish community wants to connect with you online, can you let us know where to do that?
Yeah, so pretty much Best of Jess anywhere. except Instagram. Instagram, best of Jess Pics, Pics.
Okay.
Best of Jess Pics. Now, if you didn't already pick up on this during this interview, the entire Instagram feed is food. So like, if you want to know about me and like email marketing, come find me on LinkedIn. But if you follow me on Instagram, you are getting food.
I love it.
So Best of Jess Pics, it's a public profile, or Best of Jess on Twitter. Yeah, I would love to connect to fellow Kansas Citians, especially downtown hearts. I love everything about Kansas City. I love bringing people to Kansas City, showing them the World War I museum, or giving them kind of a sense of what Kansas City is about. And I think food is one aspect of that, a very fun aspect of that. But I'm a pretty big advocate for Kansas City in general. So
yes,
happy to connect with fellow Kansas City lovers.
I love it. Well, I can be almost certain that this will not be your first and last time on the Downtown Dish, because I feel like we need to check in. I need to see where you've been eating here in a few weeks down the road. We can swap stories. Yeah. I can show you my list. So, please come back and join us whenever you would like. And thank you so much for being with us this week on the show.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me. I could talk about this all day.
I could too.
Have a great.
Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of the Downtown Dish. How cool do those snow globes sound at Hotel Kansas City? I don't know which spirit I'm going to try first. I like Scott's perspective that we could figure out a way to try all three. So if you check them out, definitely let us know at Downtown Dish KC on social. Let us know what you think. Would love to see a picture. We're not creepy. We just want to join in with you, right? He says the drinks and the food, very photogenic. So we are ready to test his input. But thank you so much for joining us. Please come back next week. Join us again here on the Downtown Dish. We have got more fun things in the works. We want to bring you the scoop on the newest route added to Urban Hikes Kansas City. Do you remember Lisa, who joined us a few months ago? So she's got some really exciting news about a brand new hiking route that has recently been added. Plus we've got more restaurants to check in with. Lots of stuff going on. And of course, don't forget, every week, join us at the KC Carryout Challenge. Get that downtown Kansas City carryout or delivery on Wednesdays. Share a picture with us at Downtown Dish KC. Use hashtag KC Carryout Challenge. You will be entered to win a gift card to a local restaurant. And we are doing this every single week through the end of March. So lots of chances to support local restaurants, lots of chances for you to win just for eating delicious food. I mean, that is the kind of contest I'm talking about. So definitely go out, have a wonderful weekend. We will see you here back next week on the Downtown Dish.